It's time for molecular transmutation.
Hey guys, welcome to Power Rangers Essentials, the show where I recap the very best and must-see episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and talk with you about what we can learn from our favorite heroes in colored spandex suits. My name's Steven Zarita, and let's get started with a recap of Life's a Masquerade, the Halloween episode. It's Halloween and the teens are helping Ernie decorate the juice bar for the party later that night, and up on the moon, Rita creates a Frankenstein monster to infiltrate said party and destroy those wretched Power Rangers. Now that the party's started, it's later on in the day, everybody's in costume, having some fun, having a good time, except for Angela apparently. When Zach asks this girl Angela to dance, she blows him off big time. Tommy's not at the party yet because he's still putting the finishing touches on his Halloween costume, which we don't know what it is yet. Now there's a couple surprises at this party, most notably Alpha 5 shows up. The Rangers wonder what he's doing there, but Alpha has a good point.
Well, I wanted to party with you guys, and I figured this would be the perfect opportunity.
Well, you do have a splendid costume.
The other big surprise is when the Frankenstein Monster shows up. Nobody pays him much mind since, again, it's Halloween, but after a while he actually does cause an uproar, and Billy, dressed as Sherlock Holmes, decides to go investigate. Billy follows him to a cave where Rita's stocking up Super Putty. He finds out Frankenstein is in fact an actual Frankenstein monster and morphs to fight him. Unsuccessfully, the fight is very short. He retreats back to the juice bar to tell the Rangers that this Frankenstein isn't a guy in costume. All 5 Rangers morph to take on Frankenstein, but he is actually one of the tougher monsters they've fought. Even when he grows giant size and they team up to form the Megazord, he's swatting off all their attacks like it's nothing. The Rangers are beat here, the Megazord falls down and is almost defeated. While the Rangers try and hold off Frankenstein, Tommy finally shows up to the party only to be ambushed by putties. Once Tommy beats the putties, he morphs and joins the fight, summoning Dragonzord. All 6 Rangers form the Mega Dragonzord to defeat Frankenstein with their drill attack. We regroup at the juice bar where Alpha's just won the costume contest, as well as the hearts of many ladies at the party. The Rangers turn around to see Frankenstein again, but no, wait, just calm down. It's Tommy. He went to go put on his costume. But can I just say, how did he put his costume on so quick? He walks in with them, says, "Let me go, I'll be right back." They say a couple things to Alpha, turn around, and all of a sudden he's in this very complicated Frankenstein costume. I have a theory. I think he morphed. Yes, I think somehow Tommy morphed into Frankenstein. Frankenstein! All right, what did we learn here today? Well, we learned a very important lesson this Halloween. We learned that Alpha's apparently a ladies' man. Really though, there's no lesson in this episode. It's more of just a very solid fighting episode for the Rangers to be in. It's well written, just no lesson of the week this time. Well, why is this an essential episode? First, we meet Angela for the first time. She and Zach are going to have a couple of episodes together over the course of the series. Second, we get to see some new and different things we don't see often in this show. It's kind of fun to see all the Rangers dressed up in Halloween costumes, not only because the costumes are fun to look at, but it's a nice break from their themed color outfits that they would wear to school every day. With the exception of Kimberly and maybe Trini, all the Rangers kind of stray away from their Ranger colors this episode. We also get to see Alpha outside the command center, which barely ever happens, and it's kind of fun to see him on the juice bar set instead of the Zordon set. This is a must-see also because we get to see Mega Dragonzord finish off the monster. We don't get to see too much of him throughout the series, and we briefly saw him at the end of Green with Evil, but this is a great episode for you to actually see him in action. And it's also essential because we learn about Super Putty, which comes into play next episode. Then versus now. Does this episode hold up? Surprisingly, yes it does. There's really nothing to hold this episode back. This is just an extremely solid episode. They take advantage of every opportunity they can. They use the Halloween party to its full extent. I mean, think about like this. Nobody expects that the guy in the Frankenstein costume is a monster, so they actually dance with him, party with him, and they have some funny gags where his attacks come off his dance moves, and he even dances with the bride of Frankenstein. I mean, they actually really use the whole Frankenstein thing to their full advantage. Also, it's fun to see Billy play Sherlock Holmes because, let's face it, it makes perfect sense that Billy would want to be Sherlock Holmes in real life, and it's fun to watch him, try and solve the mystery of who Frankenstein is. And it's even funner when he says, instead of "it's morphin' time," "it's time for molecular transmutation." That is one of my favorite Billy quotes. This period of the show is notorious for having Tommy swoop in at the last second to save the Rangers, but before he swoops in, they would have to find some sort of way to write him out of the fight. And usually that would entail him being in detention, or he forgot his communicator. This episode actually has a good reason for him not to be in the fight yet, because he's dealing with his own fight with the Putties while the Rangers are dealing with Frankenstein, so it made for a much more compelling story and kept the action intense when it needed to be. Both then and now, I think this episode blends really well with the Japanese footage. Sometimes it's very stark, or there's some things that don't really fit in with the American footage. When you think about it, it seems out of place. This episode has none of that. The fight with Billy and Frankenstein in the cave is very compelling, and they cut between American and Japanese footage pretty seamlessly. You have to look very close to catch it. All right, last week I asked you guys what Zord combinations you'd like to see on the show, and here's what you all had to say. Ricky Gainey, you said combine Dragon Zord with the Zeo Megazord. Somehow, Zia Megazord Dragon Mode. I think that would be really cool because we know the Zeo Megazord uses various helmets as part of its design, and the Dragon Zord combines with the regular Megazord as a helmet in a small capacity, among other things. So that could work, and we also know during Power Rangers Zeo, the Dragon Zord is still sitting there underwater. So that would be something fun to see. Good choice, Ricky. AJ Cook, you said Dragon Zord and Tiger Zord. Take Tommy and clone Tommy, and that could have been a two-man team with that. We kind of saw something like that when the Dragon Zord fought the Tiger Zord, but I think a Dragon-Tiger Zord combination would be a lot cooler. You know, a while back I actually saw a very cool helmet on, I think, Jason David Frank's page, where someone took the Green Ranger helmet and gave it the White Ranger color spectrum. So I imagine if that combo happened, that's what his helmet would look like. Wakado, you said combine Dragon Zord with the evil Dragon Zord clone. The Dragon Zord? No, the double Dragon Zord. Wakado, I appreciate that reference. I see what you did there. Smart. And then Lex Alolia, you said that SPD is running on your Power Rangers Sunday stream. Not really sure what that is, but if you catch this video, let me know what that is in the comments below. All right, guys, this week's question is a little different. I'm actually thinking about changing the name of this show to something a little catchier because I think Power Rangers Essentials is a mouthful. So let me know if you like any of these names, which one is your favorite. Power Rangers Flashback, Power Rangers Rewind, or just Ranger Rewind? Which one do you think would be the best name for this show? Let me know in the comments below. The next episode we're watching is Gung Ho. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And we're actually doing a review of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie next week on From Under a Rock. So next week is just going to be all Power Rangers all week long. Subscribe again so you don't miss that. If you like this recap, be sure to give us a thumbs up and don't forget to leave your title choice in the comments below. I'll see you guys next week with all that Ranger goodness. I'm Steven Zarita. Thanks for watching and punch it! Ha!